She had the world number 10 on the ropes, a first set in her pocket, a 2-0 lead in the decider. Victory was within reach. The yellow shirts were waving, the chants of Eala, Eala echoed through the stadium. The fairy tale run in Cincinnati was one step away from becoming a legend. Then, everything fell apart. The Filipina sensation watched her lead evaporate. The Queen of Hearts had come so close. Now, Eala is speaking out. What she revealed about what really went wrong has left fans speechless. Cincinnati, August 17, 2026. The Lindner Family Tennis Center was buzzing with anticipation. Eala, the 21-year-old Filipina sensation, was on the verge of her 10th career victory against a top 10 opponent. She had already beaten 9 top 10 players this season, including Iga Swiatek at Wimbledon and Jessica Pegula in the Washington final. The momentum was undeniable. The confidence was sky high. The world number 10, Amanda Anisimova, stood in her way, and for a set and a half, Eala looked unstoppable. The first set was a statement. Eala took control early, surviving a 20-minute 13-deuce marathon game in the fifth game to break Anisimova's serve and take a 3-2 lead. The Filipina's resilience was on full display. Anisimova had 8 breakpoint opportunities in that game alone, but Eala repeatedly fended off the pressure. It was the kind of performance that had defined her meteoric rise, the kind that had packed stadiums across North America, the kind that had inspired a nation. The crowd was electric. The yellow shirts waved. The chants of Eala, Eala echoed through the stadium. Eala closed out the first set with a dominant 6-4 victory. The crowd erupted. The dream was alive. The Filipina was playing the best tennis of her life. She had won 8 of her last 9 matches coming into this showdown. She was in the form of her life. She had beaten the best players in the world. She had filled stadiums across 2 countries. She had inspired an entire nation. She was ready. The second set followed a similar pattern. Both players held serve through the first 6 games. Then, Anisimova struck. She broke Eala's serve to take a 4-3 lead and never looked back. The American leveled the match at 4-6, 6-4. 1 set each. The third set would decide everything. The pressure was immense. Both players knew what was at stake. Eala had been here before. She had beaten top 10 players. She had won a WTA title. She knew how to close out matches. But this time, something went wrong. And then, everything changed. The turning point came in the 5th game of the final set. Eala took a 40-15 lead, appearing poised to regain the upper hand and extend her lead to 4-1. The crowd was ready to explode. The yellow shirts were waving. The chants were building. Victory was 1 game away. Then, she dropped the next 4 points. Anisimova surged ahead at 3-2 and never looked back. The momentum had shifted. The dream was slipping away. Eala finished with 7 double faults and was unable to stop Anisimova once the American built momentum in the deciding set. Anisimova found her rhythm and won the next 6 games in a row. She stormed back from 0-2 down to take the third set 6-2. The match was over. The run had ended. Eala had lost the last 6 games of the match. She had squandered a golden opportunity to claim her 10th career victory over a top 10 opponent. The numbers were devastating. Eala had beaten 9 top 10 players this season. In 5 in a row before this match, she had pushed the world number 10 to the brink. But in the end, she couldn't finish the job. The Filipina had been outplayed. The loss was heartbreaking. The crowd was stunned. The yellow shirts waved, but the energy had shifted. The dream was over. The loss was a reminder of the cruel nature of tennis. Leads can evaporate in an instant. Victory can slip away. The body can betray the will. Eala had come so close, so painfully close. The defeat stung. It haunted her. It fueled her. The loss was a bitter pill to swallow, but it was also a moment of transformation. The loss would become the foundation of her rise. The pain would become her fuel. The defeat would become the beginning of something far greater. But the loss did not define Eala. Her response did. The first thing she did after the match was acknowledge the fight. She did not make excuses. She did not blame the crowd or the conditions. She simply reflected on what had happened. Eala's reaction to the defeat revealed more about her character than any victory ever could. "I think that I was playing well. I think I felt the ball good, was really focused and tried to keep myself in the zone," she said in her post-match press conference. The words were a reflection of her character. She did not dwell on the loss. She did not make excuses. She counted her blessings. She refused to celebrate. She refused to gloat. She simply moved forward. She also reflected on what made the week so special. "The atmosphere this whole week has been just incredible," she said. "It's hard to describe to other people the feeling of being in that stadium full of the fans and all the love. I'm super grateful for the experiences that I've had here in Cincinnati. It's been an amazing debut. I'll carry these memories with me for a really long time." The words were a reflection of her character. She refused to take all the credit. She pointed to her community, their passion, their pride, their love. Eala has always been humble about her impact. After her Toronto run, she wrote on Instagram, "Saya paldito sa barangay Toronto." Difficult to put into words, but very easy to be grateful for you all. Feeling the love in ways that I will probably only fully appreciate later. Thank you for allowing me to experience beyond what I know. I am quite the lucky one. The words were a reflection of her character. She refused to take all the credit. She pointed to her community, their passion, their pride, their love. Anisimova knew she had been in a battle. "I know Alex is such a great player and such a fighter. I knew it was going to be a really tough match. I'm really proud of this performance for being able to find way and kind of push myself there in the middle of the match." The American also spoke about the crowd and the support Eala receives wherever she plays. "There was quite a bit of support for me tonight, so I really appreciated that, because I know how loved Alex is, and for good reason. But I really appreciated it because I felt like I needed a pick-me-up in this match, because it's past my bedtime." Anisimova's comments about the crowd were another example of how much attention the support for Eala is receiving on the WTA Tour. Jessica Pegula experienced it firsthand when she faced Eala in the Washington Open final earlier this month. Despite being an American playing in the United States, Pegula was surrounded by a large number of supporters cheering for her opponent. After Eala won her first WTA Tour title, Pegula thanked those fans and told them, "You are helping grow tennis around the world." The loss was heartbreaking, but it did not diminish what Eala had achieved. She had packed the stadium, she had inspired the crowd, she had shown the world that she was a force to be reckoned with. The Eala effect was undeniable. She had beaten 9 top 10 players this season, including Iga Swiatek, Jessica Pegula, and Alina Rybakina. She had won her maiden WTA title in Washington. She had reached the 4th round in Toronto. She had climbed to a career-high number 18 in the live rankings. Eala's journey to this moment has been nothing short of remarkable. She started playing at the age of 4, going to train every day after school with my ruffled socks, light-up shoes, and chubby cheeks. She joined Rafael Nadal's academy in Spain at 13 and graduated in 2023, having her diploma presented by Iga Swiatek. 3 years later, she knocked Swiatek out of Wimbledon, becoming the first player from the Philippines to reach the 4th round of a Grand Slam in the Open era. Now she is the 17th seed at a WTA 1000 event. She is ranked 18th in the world, the highest ranking any Filipino player has ever achieved, and she has become a symbol of hope for millions. Eala's loss to Anisimova was a reminder that tennis is cruel, that momentum can disappear in an instant, that leads can evaporate, that victories can slip away. But it was also a reminder that Eala is just getting started. She is 21 years old. She has already achieved more than most players do in a lifetime. She is a top 20 player. She is a WTA champion. She is a phenomenon. The Filipinas' impact is already being felt far beyond the stadiums. Parents are scrambling to book practice courts for their children. Racket sales are up, and a tennis boom is underway in the Philippines. The future of tennis in the Philippines has never looked brighter. Eala has brought new fans to the sport. She has inspired a new generation. She has shown that a girl from Manila can compete with the best and win. Eala's focus now shifts to the US Open, the final Grand Slam of the year. She is expected to play in the women's singles as well as in the mixed doubles alongside Felix Auger-Aliassime. She is also scheduled to participate in the Stars of the Open exhibition event during Fan Week. The U.S. Open is where she made history in 2022, winning the junior title and becoming the first Filipino player in the Open era to win a main draw Grand Slam match. Eala has also confirmed her attendance at the Singapore Open, which is one of the first tournaments of the WTA Tour's Asian Swing. The event is set to start on September 21st, just 8 days after the U.S. Open final. Beyond that, Eala is expected to play at the Wuhan Open and the China Open, as they are both WTA 1000 events. The tour is relentless, but Eala is ready. Eala has said, "I'm going to try to recover and come back out hot." The journey is far from over. Cincinnati is just another step. The U.S. Open is the next big goal. The Queen of Hearts is here, and she is just getting started. The Eala effect is real, the numbers are undeniable, and the future is bright. The loss to Anisimova was heartbreaking, but it was also a lesson, a reminder that every setback is a setup for a comeback, a reminder that champions are not defined by their losses, they are defined by how they respond. And Eala will respond. She always does. She has the support of her team, her family, and her nation. She has the love of her fans. She has the belief of legends. And she knows that the best is just getting started.